Hello, everyone. My name is Vivian, and I am the founder of Vibe with Viv Relationship Coaching, and that stands for Vision, Inspiration, Belief, and Empowerment. And I'm also a doctor specializing in mental health, and my goal is to help you heal from any recent or past or current relationship heartbreak, separation, divorce. So this place is a safe space for you where I provide you support and accountability on your healing journey. So this is you. Welcome. I'm so excited to have you today. And what we're going to be talking about today are the signs of a healthy relationship. So a lot of the times we're talking about red flags and things to watch out for in relationships that are not good. And we haven't talked about what are some good things and healthy signs of a healthy relationship that we should be aware of and we should have in ourselves and in our relationships. So today we're going to be talking about that. So let's dive in. So before I get started, I always like to mention that a healthy relationship starts with you. There's a misconception that in order for a healthy relationship to happen, it has to happen between the other partner externally. But the truth is it starts internally with yourself. So I've worked with many clients who we have worked through this before through my Achieve Emotional Healing program, and they realized that for the longest time they were seeking this validation externally from their partner and not realizing that they hadn't done that work with themselves first. And I know that everyone is in a different phase when it comes to, identifying how you communicate with yourself, how you respect yourself. But with the work I do in the Achieve Emotional Healing program, we really dive in and pull out how you can really love and be healthy with yourself so that you can now set those boundaries, set those expectations, cultivate that with someone else that comes into your life. So the first sign of a healthy relationship is communication. So I want to talk about communication in two parts. The first part is relationship with yourself and then the relationship with your partner. So relationship with yourself, how do you communicate with yourself? So like I talked about before, a healthy relationship starts with you. So how you communicate with yourself determines how your relationship and communication will be with your partner. So when you look at yourself, what internal dialogue do you have with yourself? How do you communicate with yourself? What words do you say to yourself? Are you self-sabotaging? Do you speak positively to yourself? Do you speak negatively to yourself? How are you communicating with yourself? Because the way you communicate with yourself ends up trickling out externally to how you communicate with other people. So I want you to think about that. How are you communicating with yourself and what is your internal dialogue? Because that now trickles down into all your other relationships and in the relationship with your partner. So if a healthy relationship starts with you, what are you doing for yourself? And an issue that I see a lot of people run into is that growing up as children, sometimes our thoughts and our emotions were not validated. So you may have grown up not learning how to validate your thoughts, your emotions, your internal dialogue, or even parent yourself through situations that come up. So now when we're adults, this becomes an issue because we don't know how to process our thoughts. You may not know how to process your thoughts because we didn't even learn how to do that growing up. So when that happens, we see now we have silent treatment, we have passive aggression because we have all these emotions coming in that we don't know how to process ourselves, and now we take it out on other people. So a healthy relationship starts with you. So having communication in your relationship starts with you, and it starts with the words you're saying to yourself, the internal dialogue you're having with yourself. How are you validating your thoughts and your emotions? How are you processing those thoughts and coming to terms with it so that now you can come to terms and now express that in a healthy way? So when you can do that for yourself, you can now transfer that into a partnership with someone where you're both having positive internal dialogues and can now communicate that to one another in a way that produces a healthy communication in a partnership. So now in the partnership, Communication is not just let me share information back and forth, right? It's actively listening to your partner. What is your partner truly saying to you? Are you taking the time to understand their perspective and internalize it and come up with a new solution? But what I see a lot of people do is that they take information and they're ready to respond. They're ready to have a comeback to what their partner says, and they're not actually listening. So having a healthy communication between you and your partner also requires both people to lay down their ego, lay those things aside, and actively listen to understand one another. So when you do that, when you're able to have an internal dialogue with yourself that's positive, you can process your thoughts, you can validate your thoughts, it now provides room where your partner is also able to do that for themselves. When both people can do that for themselves, it creates an atmosphere where you can both be vulnerable with your thoughts and your emotions, and you can communicate that and not feel judged or hurt in this communication that occurs. So it's a safe space. So communication is such a big part of a relationship, but honestly, it starts with you. When you can do that for yourself and your partner can do that for themselves, and now when two healthy people come together, you can have a healthy communication in your relationship. So until next time, bye, bye, bye.